Hi, it's Janet from JRK Handcrafted. I'm trying to set something up for my Christmas photos here. Unfortunately, um, I was so busy that day, either handing out gifts or preparing dinner, whatever, that I didn't get a chance to snap a lot of pictures. And the pictures this year were extremely important to me because this is the first year in many, many, many years that I've had the opportunity to actually spend Christmas with the family out here out west. Um, so what ended up happening is my husband took video of a portion of the day, and I then had to go into my Photoshop, pull some of those pictures out, and then create the photos from there. What I'm looking at here, I'm trying to make the most of my paper from A Little Christmas, which, if you saw my previous video, has these cute little mice, and in this case, it's a scene where they're decorating the tree, they're hanging the stockings. Um, yeah, it's just this guy's running with presents. So I don't want to cover that, even though I have a lot of pictures. I don't necessarily want to cover all of that. So I was kind of playing here, trying to figure out what I wanted to do with there. And I laid out the pictures. Like I said, they're not like this. I have different photos. So I've had to kind of this and this I'm trying to put together. I only have the one 4x3 here. So I'm going to make these into a picture block. Because I have a number of photos, I've kind of put these all in one. And then I have, instead of the three here, I have one and the two below. So I'm trying to find the best setup for the papers. Now, I really like this green, and this green came from the neutrals, the painted neutrals pattern. And I'll just show you a couple of these. They're really great neutrals. Well, some of them are neutrals, which come in a variety of. So you've got gray, and so you've got this big kind of circled design on here with the dots on this side, and then you've got the stripe, and then you've got the huge stripe, and this follows all the way through to the various colors here. The greens, green of which I stole out of here, and the deep wine colors, and then the browns. So, and then the grays. So, and the beiges. And I think Secret Sea might be back here too. Yeah, and browns. And so there's some really, really nice neutral patterns in there. So I grabbed the green because I really wanted to pick up the green throughout that's in the trees and some of the other areas in there. Now, sorry for the camera shake there. The wood itself, the wood grain, and I originally was only going to use the wood grain for this divider here, but and it comes from the Country Woods 12x12 DSP set, and it has a number of really great wood grains in there, so helps to kind of anchor things but kind of break them up as well. So I haven't decided what I want to do. I know this is the way I want my pictures to be. It's how I'm going to lay out the paper to accent this paper as much as I can. So I'm kind of gonna go away. I'm gonna kind of play with this for a little bit, see what I can come up with, or if I have to add anything, and I'll come right back to you. Okay, so here's kind of where I've landed. I kind of liked this green around the outside. Now there was only one sheet. So what I did was I cut it in 1-inch strips, and I just ran it around the three sides. Actually, I cut it cut it in 8 strips, and I was going to put them down here, and I still might. I'm just not sure. So I put the pictures back in the configuration that I think I'm liking. But now I'm trying to figure out, with this pattern paper, where to best illustrate that and include the wood grain. So I could go top, top, and then the wood grain on the bottom, bottom, or I could do wood grain part way through and leave the, let's actually try something here. Let's move this out of the way. Okay, let's put these guys here. And if I matted those in a single mat, and then these guys could be over here. Let's do this. Let's do it this way. Okay, so if I brought that to here, and I put those with a nice green mat and pulled those together, and then let's see here what we can do maybe with our wood grain, and brought our wood grain over here and had these two pictures. They don't really need to be matted with the white. They should be fine. So let's see how we are with, I'm just going to move this up here so I can just see how this is going to look on the, as a 12 by 12 sheet. Okay, so do I like that? Or do you think it would be better if we did, if we did this? Bear with me here. If we did this and put this here, and then this over here, and had these here, and this here. So if we went with about, okay, let's see, if we cut this in half, so if we took 6 inches, how are we gonna, let's see, so 6 inches would be about here. So if we went, say, 6 there, then obviously these pictures would come over here. And those would be there. I'm thinking if I'm going to do the 6 inches, I'm going to put it on this side. I think that's going to look a bit better. Let's try that. Yeah, let's try that. So if we go 6 inches on here, where does that take us out to? About there. And then this would come in here. And then these would go here. And these could be matted together. And then that there. I think I'm kind of liking that. We still get to see some of the mice. Okay. So let's do something else. Let's take this way. Whoops, and go our 6 inches down. Are you having fun playing with me yet? Oh gosh. Okay, so if we go down 6 inches and put this down here. So if we cut this in half and we mat these on green, this maybe not the way I would have them. I'd probably put the, well, no, that might be fine. And then put, maybe I'll put this on the bottom instead. It should fit there. And then this small one would go, I don't know. You'll have to wait until I come back to see what I decide to do. Anyways, I'm going to go away and I'm going to try both scenarios on either side. Whether I cut this mouse paper in half horizontally or vertically, yeah, we'll see. I'll come back when I have a cut and we can see how I did. Okay, I don't have this all laid down yet. But what I decided to do was use a wood grain on this side to house these two pictures. And then I'm really not sure yet about my photo layout here. or my title here. My title could go either, and this is print and cut, and when I did it, I put some little mice on there just because there's going to be mice on here, and there's already mice on there, or put it there and have a cluster here. I've lined, I used these rounds in a previous layout, so I had them left over, and I was trying to think, okay, how can I add some journaling spots here? And I was thinking I could just I could bring that in here, or I could put it over here, and have that to be part of a cluster. Maybe I could move it over here and put the rest of my cluster here, and a cluster here, and then of course I can probably put some things up here by the title, or I can reverse that. So this is where I stand right now. So I'm just going to tack down my sheets here, and then come back, and we're going to look at some embellishments. But I think as it stands right now, this is pretty much where I am. So let me go away, tack everything down, and we'll come back and figure out if we're needing any mats on this or not, and look at embellishing. Okay, see you soon. Okay, so I have my pictures laid down, matted, and where they're supposed to be. The only thing I don't have laid out yet are the embellishments. So, like I said, I put lines on here to put that there, and we can have some further embellishments there. I still was undecided on whether to put this here and this up here, but I'm thinking this probably leads into the page. So I think I'll put that there. I may put it over a little bit and put some embellishments here and down here, and then surrounding here. The reason I shoved these all to the left on this page was because I get to see more of the stuff that's going on with the mice. I was going to stagger them, but then it cut off pretty much everything. So didn't mat these or these because they're on the wood grain, and there's enough of a difference between the white mat and the wood grain papers. So I have created a bunch of embellishments, which I just kind of have in this tray here. And one thing I was going to mention, I bought these off of Amazon, oh my gosh, a while ago, and they're basically spacers. So what they do is, for instance, when I was trying to bring my papers in 3/4 of an inch from here, I have one that is, and these are plexi, that has 3/4 on it. So all I did was, when I went to line that up, was I put that, let's move this out of the way. Can you see there? Yeah. So I put that right at the corner of where I want to place my next sheet. So because I'm using the 3/4 inch space, my new sheet will be tucked right into the corner made by the spacer, and then I just let it drop in place. So for example, I can place, like, these come in all different sizes. So as an example, I can place the 1/4 inch one on the corner of that wood paper, and then my picture would just get tucked right in that corner. So that leaves me a 1/4 inch on the top and a 1/4 inch on the bottom. So the spacers come in many sizes, from 3/16 of an inch to 3/4 of an inch. The inside markings on the spacers are in millimeters/centimeters. They vary in thickness from 8 millimeters to almost a 1/4 inch thick. And they're really sturdy. They're great. They're see-through, so they work awesome. And they are great for lining up your mats on your cards and whatever. I will put a link in the description below. I also use my Tim Hortons gridded ruler. Whoops, sorry. If you're not Canadian, you might not know who Tim Hortons is. So let's go with Tim Holtz. We're going to use a Tim Holtz ruler for lining up our photos. So I have these 3 photos on the edge here. So for instance, if I want to come in a 1/4 inch, I line the grid on my Tim Hortons ruler up along the edge of my paper. And if I line it up top to bottom, the 12 inches, I can measure down an inch and up an inch. So my top and bottom photos are even, and then my middle one is perfect in the center. So this particular kit there's a really cute little ephemera that's available through here. I've cut these couple of mice out here, and I cut that out from the Christmas mice a stamp and die set. There's wreaths, there's toques, there's candy canes, there's little hats, there's greetings. This is a great set, and then of course the dies all come. So you've got the trees and the mice, and you have the opportunity for a door or a window, however you want to use it. So the suite comes with everything, and I have that in an earlier video, sneak peek video. That comes with the twine. There's also epoxy stickers. So there's all kinds of things that come with this set that make it easy to use and easy to create. So the little mice here are really sweet. When they're die cut, their little arms kind of are separated. They're die cut into, so that you can actually place something in their arms. So in this case, we could, put a little present in there for that mice to hang on, or mice, that mouse to hang on to, and this little guy, his little arms, paws, whatever, also have just little slits in them too as part of the die cut. And then we can, have him holding a little bauble. So they can hold the candy cane, they can hold a scarf. They will have little scarves and toques for the little critters. So there's lots of cute ephemera that come with this kit, which really help to make your scrapbook pages. So there's this plaid stack of presents, and there's little slits in there. You can run some ribbon through there, weave some ribbon in. Now, whether you make that out of just regular plain cardstock and fancy it up, that's fine. Um, there's also an open box here that you could, put some scarves in. You could have some baubles or presents in there. So again, you've got all kinds of things that you can use, and it's such a great kit. It's got just everything. It's also got these really cool wreaths in here, which are easy to place within there, and everything is easy to color, easy to make your own, match your page. So I'm going to try to put these embellishments where I think they're best fitted, and we'll see what that looks like. Okay, so I think we are completely done here. As far as I know, the only thing I have left to do really is my journaling, and I've just kind of barely stuck that down. I'll take that off and put some journaling on there. So I'm not sure that I actually got what I was looking to achieve. Although I do have the mice here. I'm not sure, considering you're going to be putting your photos on here, that you could really get away with not covering some of that beautiful paper up. But anyways, so most of my embellishments have all come from the Christmas mice die, or and die set, and stamp set. Okay, and we've talked about that before. So colored up the mouse here, have another mouse here, have a different mouse here. This guy's holding the candy cane. This guy's holding a present, and he has an open box here. So poor little guy, he's falling behind. He's got his scarf here that's still not wrapped, and his toque that he has to get in that box. This little guy here, he's been decorating. There's some trees back here, a present, and like I said, I will do my journaling here. We've got our title here, Christmas Joy, and we've used these scallop circles throughout, just as bases for our ephemera. And we have kind of got our visual triangle going on here. We've put the scallop circle up here. We've got our title. We've got our mouse holding the candy cane. We've got some background trees. Now I did pull, let me see here. Well, maybe I kind of lost. Oh no, here we are. Okay, I did pull another die set to create some of these trees here, and it's from the Noel set. I must have filed it back in. I'll list it at the bottom of this, in the description of the video. Anyway, so that's basically my layout, using the one sheet of paper and then kind of going into some of my other DSP packages to kind of bring it all together. Anyway, it does not look at all like what I started with or what my intentions were, But just from having to rearrange my photos and put some on mats and not, I think actually it's told our story very well, and I can't wait to do the journaling here. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of a walkthrough or tutorial, and I do have the neutral Noel dies that I'm really looking forward to starting with, but I may do another Halloween version. I'm not sure. Anyway, you should see me in the near future. Look at the description in the bottom of the video for any links to any of the products I used. I will, again, like I said, I will attempt to find the spacer bars that I used today. And yeah, if they're of help to you, yeah, you nab on to them. Anyways, thanks so much for joining me, and you have a great day.